Okay, I'm just gonna look at where we have gone from our last week. So this was our Sunday. So we moved up from our recent dump and swept our previous high right here. If you're wondering what this pattern or this thing I have right here with the numbers, it's a harmonic pattern. Also, it does have a video about that, so if you want to look further into that. But this is a bearish pattern, so basically you're looking for an extension towards the upside first for a pullback. Yeah, so last week we had some manipulation, we swept a high, pulled back, swept these previous range lows right here, consolidated a bit below it before we start pushing up again. Came up to around the mid-range, around the 0.5 before we started consolidating again and had some internal manipulation. Basically we swept, people were late to long, were basically us the long and short were basically us taking out everyone. So first we went down, then we came back up, swept these low highs, and then we started dropping towards the downside again. So as we can see on the higher time frame, we do have lower highs still. So if you're looking at this high first right here, that if we did make a higher high from this previous weekly high that we had, and then we had these lows, so we came back down, made these lower lows right there, and then we made lower highs right here. So I did suspect we would come back into some sort of liquidity sweep. I did say 56, 57, 50, 58, around that area. That's the same as Bookie was looking at. So we came back down to around 58. We swept that, and the 60s, really good reaction off here. They protected these 60k, which is a very important sort of point for us to remain bullish for top side. So after coming up from there, we swept these lows. We had our market structure shift on the 2-hour right here. Basically we went from even though higher time frame is still downtrending, our lower time frame is starting an uptrend, or starting a reverse at least. Still waiting for our second or higher low right here. So I am looking, we did run through this 4-hour fair value gap, which I'm looking at currently for a pullback into. That's will be like your most optimal long entries. Will be a pullback into this 4-hour fair value gap and then start pushing towards the upside. That I have a harmonic target at around 64 to 65k. Before we do pull back about a 0.5, 50% from that move up to around 62k. And then I do think we can continue towards the upside and start breaking these high and reversing our higher time frame trend to the upside. So yeah, that's just what I'm looking for the coming week. So either we get a push up straight into the 64, 65s, sweep our previous high, and pull back from there, or we come back a bit. I will be trying to long most stuff if we do get this pullback, and I will be targeting the 64 to 65k. And this is most likely what will happen during next week. From my perspective, we can of course just dump below this, and then we're just gonna be seeing 58, what like sweep or even lower, most likely 57s. But so that's like my important point to look at. Yeah, we'll look at Arbitrum. Let me see. Oh yeah, I did have a long on Arbitrum. I think our second entry hit. Ooh, never mind. It's did not hit yet. 0.52. Got front ran by 0.0002. Nice. I'm bullish on ARB right now. Still thinking it's gonna hold this trend line. If you have seen Ozzy's stream, he explains how we like to take out the trend lines, because trend lines is like the most basic concepts that most people use. So we like to wick below a trend line, take out those guys, scare a bit of people, and then start going towards the upside. That we did see right here. This is another harmonic. So this is a bearish harmonic. So I will be looking to first scaling out at the B point. I will take out off around 50% and move my stop loss to break even, and then I will targeting the between the 886 and 786. So that's around 0.65 bucks right there. And we are consistently making higher lows. And we did have our market structure shift right here. I mean, we officially made a higher high. I do have some even higher targets if we do expand towards the upside. And I will be looking at the box or slightly more than that. But I do think we do get some sort of pullback. Maybe even test this trend line again before we actually start pushing towards the upside and 1 bucks. And so ARB has been pretty weak coin that we have seen. We've just been making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and so on. But right now we are at least making higher lows consistently, which is showing some strength. And if we do see a pump on ETH, that I do suspect we should see soon, then we should be able to get a push here as well towards the upside. Pad, my second enter was 0.52. I'm just gonna look at some more coins here now. Then, so yeah, we have Solana. Flip this, like this was a supply zone first. So this was our resistance that we just ran through. Had a support and resistance flip. So I would not be surprised to see us just start running from here. Or if we do come back down below, test maybe this 140 range before we start pushing towards upside. Also potential. And then I'd be targeting this 2 hour fair value gap right here, as well as the supply zone. So that's our resistance, main resistance as of right now. And that's in the like 155 range. I believe I do have a harmonic for Solana as well. Yeah. Yeah, so here I was expecting a pullback into the 140s. And then a push towards the 156 range. And then Solana is still consolidating inside of this triangle basically. So a breakout soon would be nice, but I would still expect a pullback of this. We do also have equal highs back here, and if we do have equal highs, we have a tendency of coming back up and failing them, basically coming up and wicking above these equal highs to take them out, and then have a reaction based off that. So that's always something to look for. I'm gonna look at some more. AVAX was showing some nice strength. Swept our buy side liquidity right here. We had a market structure shift as well. And these consistent, we did have it already back here. Just by making, same as RB right here, just making consistent higher lows. showing good strength. I do know Aussie was looking for us to take out the 24s, so basically he did want to see us take out this trend line right here, weak below it, something like that, before we started going towards the upside. So that's something to look at. But first I'm going to be targeting around this 30 bucks mark. In the validation would be if we close a candle above this previous high, that's at 30.83. So that's where I would suspect we do get a proper pullback. And then even higher time frames. Yeah, so if we sustain these higher lows here, even if we do come back and test this 24, should be able to keep going towards the upside here. Maybe even break up towards these highs again at 40 bucks. So that's great reaction of the lows. Good momentum towards the upside. A lot of alts are looking really similar right now, but also really good. So I do suspect we do see Bitcoin dominance maybe come down here soon, or so we could possibly. This is on a weekly time frame, so this is really high time frame. If we do push up to the 60s, that's where I suspect top would be around, at least to a proper pullback. Or if we do test just this mid-range of right in between, just at this previous low right here, and pull back to the 0.5 right here, and we do see a small amount of alts just pump a bit more than Bitcoin for the coming week or so at least, or weeks at this point, because this is a weekly chart. We do have some weaker charts. Doge is one of them. Compared to like most meme coins right now, Doge is by far like the worst performer over the last 100 days. But this is still something I'm looking at. Still like the meme coin of meme coins, even though it's quite outdated, and people would just prefer to hold like Popcat with and stuff like that. But yeah, we did have this breakout right here, coming back to retest these lows. So it is still looking bullish, but not as much strength as something like Pepe. Which is already almost at these previous highs. Had a similar looking breakout there as well. But the retest not as deep though. I could also look at some BTC pairs. Guys, you feel free to send some alt requests as well in the voice calls chat, and I will look through them. Or even memes, I can look through those as well. So we have stuff like PETH. I do hold PETH. Has been performing not as good, but I'm still really bullish on their tech and stuff. Hopefully if we form a sort of range here. We are making some higher lows. Just looking to confirm our third higher low here, and we do need a breakup towards the upside, confirming a higher high as well. But we do have Solana, underlying Solana coins that are lagging behind, sort of. You have Jupe as well, but I do suspect these will pick up as soon as Solana starts to sprint again. And ARB, yeah, we're seeing no strength on this Bitcoin chart yet. So we have this demand zone. It would not be odd for us to take out these lows again before actually keep going up, but we do still need a confirmation, basically just a break of any type of high. So I'm looking at the 12 hour right now. I would be looking at this high, and we have this inverse 12 hour fair value gap right here that I would like to see us close above. before I buy any ARB on the higher time frame. So I'm fine for leverage long still, but just comparing that to Bitcoin, it's not showing the strength that we need if we want to hold it on spot. Then Sui, of course, is a different story. It's just exploding. Has not made a new all-time high on Bitcoin yet, but it's still showing like there's not much to talk about here. It's just exploding. We flip this, maybe get a retest, or if we do get a pullback again. That's your vital point. Just something to watch. Sui hype is like extreme right now, so I'm gonna have a look at Blast as well. It's a request. Yeah, so Blast, it's a similar looking chart to a lot of airdrops. You do have the first few months of just going straight down. I know Blast could pick up again, similar to how ARB, I mean it's similar to ARB in one sense, but it's also like the stronger competitor. So but it's still like if ETH start pumping, you should be seeing a reaction here as well. So we did make a higher low right here, which is great, showing some sort of strength. We're struggling to make any new highs, but as long as these lows right here are held, I think you're fine. I'm looking at the daily chart right here. So I will be looking at the 886. Yeah, I would like for us to hold this range. 00821 is where I would like to see this hold. First to break towards the upside, and then I will be looking at this right here, high right here. So it's around the 0.00958 to flip close above the 0.5 pullback. That's where I would have your most optimized entry, and then might maybe start targeting this. This is considered a weak high, but even though this high right here is pretty strong, so you need some momentum to break that. Just something to watch for now. Nothing I'm interested in spot long term yet. Need some confirmations on that. All RC. Gonna have a look at the weekly here. We're down quite a bit. Yeah, so this is again pretty weak coin. It's down about 97% from the highs. I'm not sure what this coin is, so I'm just gonna do TA on it, like would I buy, would I not buy, would I hold this? Oh, no. So that's your low that made this move towards the upside. You did have your breakout structure back here. Guessing that's like the bear markets, yeah. Had an insane run up, and now it's coming down pretty aggressively. Yeah, so you would like to see it hold above this and start turning around. Otherwise, it's pretty likely to just free fall because you don't have a much of support around these areas. Looking at the daily, yeah, we're just making lower highs right here. It's looking like the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. It's just down. But again, just something to watch. If we're looking at the 12-hour, we do have these highs right here. We'd have that break, but so we did have that break towards the upside, which is a market structure shift, but we also did come back down. close below these. So we're just in a range right here. For a confirmed breakout, you would need a close above one of these highs, as those would be seen as your strong highs. And then of course you do want to sustain these higher lows. Even if you do move sideways, you do still want to see higher lows. And we're lower highs right here as well, so it's still quite weak. You do see this 12-hour fair value gap right there. So if you do hold that would be nice. That candle closes in a few hours. Something more to just watch. You did have a very big sweep of a very high time frame. So it could be reversing here, but again, nothing confirmed. To actually confirm, you would need a breakout towards the upside. Right there. And then you could be targeting things such as these previous ranges, like these highs. And of course you would need like an extreme amount of volume to come in to actually start breaking towards the upside. And if you do get this breakout, I would be targeting these highs, because these are your like higher weekly time frame strong highs. So it would be the 0.46 to 0.8. It's a wide range, but start scaling out there if you do hold this coin. And you do want to have a stop loss here as well. So because if you do start breaking these lows again, you're likely to just free fall. So around the 0.1, I'm guessing, is this the sentiment as well. You do want to hold above that. No worries. Let's check some other coins here. Yeah, so I did look at PETH. So we have this sort of falling wedge right here on PETH. Falling wedges are generally bullish. So you usually see a squeeze before you break out towards the opposite side of the wedge. So you do have this bearish harmonic that we did hit right here, and we are pulling back from it. So I pull back to these 786 to 886 is like optimal again entries is a great for longs, and you do want to see us hold above these highs right here, these lows, and it's a higher time frame demand area as well. So this is a strong support that we have reacted off many times before. This is still something I do hold in my bags, even though we did have a run up and then just a pullback all the way back to where it's previously started. I do know a lot of people hold Jupe, so I did have this important area to watch that we did reject off. It was the B point of the harmonics. I did suspect us to pull back from there. As long as we hold above this C point right here, it's at the 0.66 mark. You should be bullish. You should be targeting higher. They have like the best tech on the market when it comes to their stuff. I know Ozzy is also really bullish on them. It just clears uni any day of the week. It's just so much better at everything basically. Some targeting, first target would be around these 886 again here at the 1.15, and then higher time frame targets I will be looking at 1.7, and then even higher than that for a proper breakout. So this is something I'm happy holding on to. Popcat, yeah, not much to say here. It's price discovery. Not trying to catch a short on this one. Need a lot of confirmation. We had a breakout. That's really clean. We got a retest as well right here. looking to break these highs that we previously rejected off. Currently not looking like we will, not on the first try. But if you do see some consolidation here, we are likely to come back up again and break it. Or try to break it at least. Yeah. I do always have multiple charts of everything because I do like to have multiple different perspectives on different coins. So always great to have an empty chart to see if you missed something. Near another AI coin that we did have a structure shift on. So if we look at the 4 hour, these are your important lows here still. So anything above these are valid short bullish confirmations. But we do have a pretty deep pullback. So on the 2 hour, you did break these lows. So I would need some sort of confirmation on the hourly to break our local highs that we did create before this dump. So if we do come back down to 886 area again and push, or if we do come up, want to see a close above these high, come back to the 0.5 and then start pushing towards the upside. And here you do have multiple targets as well, so it would be the B point first. So it is a bearish pattern as well, but you have a long way to go before you actually hit the targets. Nvidia is almost at all-time highs, so that's something that could drive AI coins to pump again. First target you will look at this B point at the 0.5, 0.3, which is also this previous range low. But want to see higher lows there on the 4 hour. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at render as well. And now Aussie did short render, but he also has a long on it. But render is bullish. It looks very similar to AVAX or the coins that we did look at previously, with consistent higher lows. We did come back to this demand zone right here. Rejected, respected it really nicely, and pushed towards the upside. We did even break these highs, and we closed above them. So higher time frames. This is just, you're possibly looking at an inverse head and shoulders as well. 12. So I could see even that. And then you would respect the 786, 86, and then continue towards the upside. Start looking at these highs right here at the 6, 9. If you look at the daily and the 3 hour, we put some fibs on this. You have the 0.5 mark at around 8.5. So that's like your important area to flip to keep going towards all-time highs, $12, $11, around that. I'm gonna look at Mother as well. Oh, this is probably not the full chart even. $74 million still. Yeah, so this is the nice double bottom. Really loves to trade these. So we did have a breakout towards the upside from these highs right here. I'm gonna use that. We are pulling back a bit right here. We'll be looking at a fib from these lows to the highs. Yeah, so that's a great reaction of the 618 on the daily. So your like optimal entry for this would be in the 786, 886, around that point for a swing towards the upside. But yeah, nice volume picked up here. So if you do see a bounce here, maybe a close above the 0.5 right here, should be able to see a continuation towards the upside here. Or if you do get a pullback, this is where I would be like have my like sort of DCA, and then I would have my stop at around 30 to 35 million around these lows. But that's just a healthy correction right now. After this push up, we have this down trading channel. Hourly doesn't look that strong yet, but something to watch there as well. 4 hour is nicer. If you do make this higher low right here, should be able to see a push at least to the 0.5 here at 86 million, and then you can base a look at the reaction there. If we do reject there again, you're most likely coming down to the 50s. Meanwhile, if you do break above that, you're likely to start coming higher, 100 million, 120 at these previous highs. Not a bad swing potential there. The spike of volume as well. Really low volume at these lows right here. I did want to look at the heat map as well. So heat map, you can see the leveraged people's liquidation prices, basically their stop losses, where they get liquidated, and so on. So if we look at here, the more yellow, the more liquidity is at that point. So this is something everyone can use. It's free. It's on CoinGlass. So I'm looking at the Binance Bitcoin right now, perps. I can look at the 48 hour. So this is liquidity built up over the last 48 hours. As you can see, we did have more longs, so liquidity was built up underneath our price. So that's kind of what led to the price coming down today. So we came down, we swept most of it, around 60 to 70 million, around that 62 mark. And now we do have some aggressive shorts coming in here as well. Some aggressive shorts coming in here. So we do have some liquidity right above us at 62.9. So this is something I always try to track or have in mind when I do short. Always good to use, always good to have. We don't always take where the most liquidity is. We can just take, if our momentum is really bullish, it's easier for price to keep on grabbing the liquidity towards the upside instead of actually going down first and then going back up again. So that's something also to have in mind. But yeah, you could see we took all these short liquidity. Everyone tried to short around this move up, and we basically liquidated or stopped out most of the people. And as you can see here, there's also not a lot of people that did catch this move. There's not a lot of liquidity around these areas, so most people did miss out on this long move right here, which is bullish for long term also, so that we don't have to come back down and liquidate these guys. So I can even zoom out even more here. Gonna look in the monthly. Yeah, so we're look at the monthly. We do have 6169, which is where I would be looking at for most optimal long entries after sweeping this. And then we have towards the upside. So first it's around 63.5, and then you have around the 64 to 65k mark. Just something to keep an eye on. And then you also do have these 24-hour long and shorts. Right now it's about 50-50, and they do like to keep it 50-50. So if one increases, so like if 52% are long and 48 are short, we are likely to pull back. So more people short and less people are long to even it out to 50-50. I do know someone mentioned APU like 2 weeks ago or last week, and whoever did it, they had an explosion of a move. 155% move towards the upside, just straight up. We did consider it a pullback here, but we just broke out, retested it a bit right at the trend line, and kept on going. We also did get a retest of this box right here, of these previous lows. The support and resistance flip. That was just a beautiful move towards the upside. If there are no more requests, I think that's it. I have also recorded this, so it will be out for people to look later on if you did miss anything. Well, thank you guys for listening.